Alright, so this is the Paraíso Tank Positioning Guide. So we're going to start off with the Orisa. This map's mainly a lot of poke comps, which consist of like Sigma, Orisa. Ram is okay on this map. It's a little harder to get away with like a Reinhardt here. Winston's okay. Like a lot of characters are just okay on this map, but it's mainly poke and like yeah, D.Va is pretty solid here, but I wouldn't say like this is one of Winston's best maps. It's probably more D.Va compared to Winston here.
For sure.
But you know, since Orisa's meta, and there will be more times than not when she's gonna be meta, we'll just go Orisa to start because she's pretty popular right now. Also, when you come out of spawn as any character, especially with them as a movement ability, always use that right off rip out of spawn so you can get there faster. Because it should come up by the time you get over there. Right. So let's get over here. So to start out on Paraíso as a tank, you wanna definitely go up here. Alright. This spot is insane. Right. You just free poke them, you know, it's not a big deal. They go D.Va, you just shove them right off. Or you just beat the shit out of them, right? If they end up, so you want to walk underneath, Grayson?
Yeah, I got it.
If they just run underneath, guess what you do? You just drop down, and you do that, right? Or you just walk down and you beat them up again, right? So right here is the most strong, right? Right here is insane, and then that up top position, all right? Those are the best spots on this map to start on defense. Right, because then your healers can play over here, or they can even be over here. Your damage can be over here, but a lot of times people will play up here. And if they just run past, you just drop down, fight them. All right. So then let's go underneath the bridge, Grayson.
Yeah.
The next spot, right here. You could fall back onto the sides. Yeah, that's a lot of like what tank is, playing these corners and then just being able to back up. It's really hard to like go out in the middle here because you're just gonna get roasted, but it depends. A lot of it depends on what's going on in the game, right? But playing in this room is okay. Hopefully your damage will let you know somebody's up here, your supports, right? And then they just kind of have to play against that window. But if they are like pressuring from everywhere, you're gonna have to decide what to do, right? I generally will just make sure their tank can't get onto the point a lot of the time, all right? So then if you cap, so let's just say you cap point here, Grayson, all right? And the card's moving up. So the next best spot, it's very hard to play up where Grayson is playing as Sigma as a defender. You can do it, but they spawn right over there.
Enemy in sight.
Like right over there, right? So the next best spot is up here, which is pretty far back, but that's why poke is really strong here, right? Because you just siege them like that. And then a lot of times some people go up here, so you could always position up here as a tank, right? And just lay down fire there. And then a lot of your damage should be playing up here, right? So you could also position up here to make sure nobody comes up here and stuff like that. And as they're pushing card up, you could always drop down here, right? And then as the card's pushing, you want to make sure you're at this corner because you really don't want to let them get past here because it's really rough. In the event that they do, and you're able to back up, the next best spot probably is like right around here. This area is really hard to hold though if they get like past the bridge, so you really don't want them to get past the bridge or you're it's kind of a rough
Yeah, this is
thing.
kind of an area you kind of wish you have no for.
Yeah. So you kind of want to go right here to take pressure off the people coming back, and then you just kind of shove them away and stuff like that. This is also a terrible map, so it's pretty rough. The next best spot, if they cap that point, right here is really strong. Like really strong. Even though they spawn over there, you have a lot of time to come back, but it is, you could get steamrolled potentially. So right, you go here, it's hard for them to take that a lot of the time, especially if you even play closer, but it is really risky too. So now the other option is to play like right here, which is insanely strong. Here, and then as you go back, like right here is really strong. So that's kind of how this whole map is. You kind of just, if you have to give space, you take the next corner. a lot of the time. The big thing about this map though is hoping your team doesn't stagger. So if you are using voice comms, especially in ranked, which you should be doing, you want to make sure your team is fully regrouping and holding stuff. Because if not, you're just gonna get steamrolled on this map, right? And then coming out of spawn, it's just really tough. If you're like Sigma or somebody, for example, you could always play up here. You actually might be able to contest cart potentially around here.
You have to jump down.
Well, it comes right here, so you might actually be able to like crouch right here, Sigma, and get it. But there's stuff like that. Playing in these rooms are really strong too. This map's a lot more like straightforward, and then I'll go to attacker's side because it's probably a little bit easier to position with. You just throw me off the map.
I just ulted you.
Sure, Reese's leg's breaking. You know what, attacks? This whole map's terrible for both sides, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I don't really have to go a tank, do I?
Probably not.
Yeah, alright, I'll take someone actually just run.
So the next spot it's really, really hard to get through this point, in my opinion. It's actually terrible. One of the worst maps, because it's a Widow map, and you know how I feel about Widow players.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, they get you jump off the top of the chapel in King's Row.
Yeah,
Just in case.
Sombra. So, tank players, like I said, are going to probably play up here to start, right? So the best bet, especially if you're a brawl tank, is to probably come around here. And it depends really on what they're running. So if they're all up there, you can siege up this way, right? Up these stairs. But you can get bottlenecked really, really hard on this point. So the ability to swap is very important on this map for most players, and that's gonna be harder for lower elo. But in general, as a tank, you want to have base knowledge of most of the tanks anyway. Because if not, like if you are a Doom one trick, you don't really count, right? Because Doom is Doom. If you're a one trick, the whole goal of a one trick is to be so good at that character that it doesn't matter what the meta is or what they're running, within reason. That you kind of know what you're doing on those maps regardless. So right, you can push them off up here and then they'll probably jump down. The big thing is getting to here is really tough because if they have an Ashe up top, and stuff like that, it's really hard. But as Orisa, you could maybe hit that spear. You throw your Sigma shield. Actually, if you are Sigma, it's probably better to go up this way and kind of siege from up here. Even as Orisa, it's not super bad, right? You go up here and you can siege them from down there, and then you can run over to this way. Stuff like that is really strong.
Yeah, D.Va's really strong at this point.
The other option, let's say you're running like a Lucio or something, or even like a Winston. The other option is to come around this way and try and push their supports off. The hard part is, like, I can already see it now, is somebody watches this guide and like get just booped off by Lucio. So just be aware that there's a ledge here, right? Because that's rough. So that would be attacking here. It's really rough. And a lot of defenders tend to fall back in here, which is good for defenders, because they could poke out here. But if you are a tank, you want to make sure that if they fall back, you kind of push forward if you have the health, right? So if they're in here, you kind of play on the side here. Not even on the side, but like you should have a lot of pressure to just keep pushing them back. Just so like even if you die for it, as long as your team can get the point, that's huge, right? Like you could, the door's probably too big, but if the door's a little smaller, you might even be able to body block people into it.
Oh my god, yeah. Alright, as Orisa, any corner, just destroy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So next thing, you cap this. This is again one of the worst points to take, and the whole map is terrible. But they're generally going to be up top. Up top here. You could spear them and stuff like that, or even like throw shields. But you're gonna have to siege all the way up here. So on this section, a Winston or D.Va are probably pretty strong here. Again, with Sigma too. Orisa's just strong in general, right? Ram could do it because he's got a lot of poke as well. It would be very hard for a Reinhardt to play this map, especially on attack. unless they could get close really fast. But again, like they have so many spots that they're not going to be close to you. It's hard. You know, as attacking, you could go in this room and like go this way and shoot them. There's a lot of options for you, but there's still like a lot of choke points that you have to get through. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to see. I don't think there are stairs yet. So as you get up here, you kind of just want to, the whole thing is like getting them low enough and hoping that you or somebody else in your team gets a pick, and then you could just push up further into them, right? So then you could just take them out here. Again, you are a tank. You kind of want to be the like imposing figure that you are, like just run into people, you know. I don't know where you'll spawn. Probably around here. Right. So then as you come to attack, this spot's really terrible again. So you have to kind of siege them around this way, and then if you have space over here, potentially go this way, you know, to cut off a lot of angles. Kind of reset. Right, so let's say you're over here. I could come this way, and that cuts off a lot of angles from there, guys. If the cards go back, yeah, like there. If they're over there and they have a really strong hold, it might be stronger for you to come up this way, right? You know, it's obviously easier if you could think about this versus like playing in the game, where it's like you have to make split-second decisions. But generally, you can come up here and poke them out really hard, or even push them off up here, or come down here and keep pushing. But a lot of attack is based on what the defense is running, regardless. So it all really depends on that. But generally, if you get to this point, they spawn right over there. It's like it is harder for them to defend because it's really open, but they also could stall you out really hard over here, right? So it's kind of like just hoping to wipe them really hard, you know, maybe even popping an ult and just blowing them up and getting that point. So that's Paraíso. Just a terrible map. Good luck.
Yeah.
Maybe dodge it, to be honest.
Yeah, real quick, if you're actually gonna dive or something though, you could go up here, because most of the time healers or my team's like attack will be up here. You could dive them.
Oh
like,
yeah, you definitely.
here.
If you're dive, you
yeah.
destroy a lot of like the slower characters. So if they have like an honor swing, you just jump on up there, or even like even over there.
Are gonna be down here defending while they're up there, so you're gonna have some free reign.
Yeah, but this map, the key to this map is having variability in your playstyle. You know, knowing what you think you could do, trying other stuff out, than just, you know, running straight down the line if that's not working for you.
Yeah, it's nothing really style. You just gotta try a lot of shit.
Yeah, and again, having multiple tanks that you could play, unless you're an insane one trick, is definitely the move. So that's Paraíso.